Welcome. You're listening to a Rolemaster Classic Actual play set in Terry K Amthor's excellent Shadow World using Fantasy Grounds. You can find session summaries, items, and characters on Obsidian Portal, where our campaign is called The Praise of Old Men. This episode is cross-referenced as Chapter 3, Demons of the Burning Night, Part 9. We're also on YouTube, Podbean, and Twitch, where you can find the various links as well as an index of some of the main points of each episode in the description. Now, you may spot a couple of unfamiliar voices in this recording. It's because a couple of Stuart's players from a Saturday night game wanted to listen in on this game, and you may notice that some of them even get involved. Last episode, the party were able to best the remaining undead by driving them back onto fire. In the smoky silence that followed, the room was searched, revealing a well-hidden door, but with no obvious means of opening it. We join the party as they ponder how to gain entry.
So if you can recall, you were directed before you even left Selkai to look for this temple where you were hoping to find weapons and artifacts which would help you more safely explore this lost ruined city. The idea being that there's an artifact that you've got to recover or wish to recover from the ruined city. As it turns out, the temple is on 2 layers. You've explored all of the upper floor. And you kept coming across these warding symbols, which seemed to be potent defenses against demons and undead. When you got down to this level that you're currently on, I think you've all got the map viewable for you, you found that some of the warding symbols had failed over the hundreds of years that the temple has stood in the humid jungles. Where those warding signs have broken, you've unfortunately come across a number of foul creatures. You've defeated some sort of wight, you've defeated a number of zombies, you've also defeated a number of mummies, those in the chamber in which you stand. You've recovered 2 quite potent swords that have bonuses and benefits when fighting the undead or demons. You've also found, I think, a rather nice shield and a number of other artifacts. The chamber that you're in currently is large, damp, and somewhat dank, and smells slightly fetid. The still smouldering bodies of the mummies that you've defeated lie scattered about the floor. You very quickly decided that though the mummies can be beaten into submission and temporarily knocked out, if left alone over days, hours, they start to regenerate. So, in order to keep the undead dead this time, Silk and a number of you have basically taken every opportunity to set fire to the mummies' wrappings whenever you've finally beaten them into submission. Anyway, the mummies that you've defeated, there is a good half dozen, now lie scattered about the floor, their bandages smouldering, burning, and so on. You've not left the chamber, however, because you found what you understand to be a secret door, a concealed entrance or exit against the eastern wall. However, try as you can, Cherry has been unable to find the opening mechanism. So although you know that there is a door there, you can't find any way of opening it. There doesn't seem to be any handle, there doesn't seem to be any catch. You've spent almost an hour searching the room, looking for levers, switches, and so on. I'll just share the combat tracker with you so you can get a quick recap on that.
Stuart, what's that blue thing? Sorry, the thing I've highlighted in blue there. I can't remember what that was on the map.
That's a brazier.
A brazier, thanks.
And that is cold and hasn't been lit for some time. You'll recall that elsewhere in the temple you came across braziers that were burning coal, but the coal did not seem to be being used up.
Can I try and manipulate the brazier by twisting it round, as in some hypothesis it may open a door?
That brazier, is there coal in here and is it just not burning, or is there no coal in there?
There is coal in it and it's not burning. Cran, do you wish to... I mean, the brazier itself is not going... I mean, heavy, but not for somebody of your great size and strength. So you can certainly shift it any way you want. Is there any particularly way you want to shift it or move it? Just rotate it on the floor?
Yeah, just move it back to maybe kind of that kind of area, and then search under the floor there, maybe hiding a pressure switch or something.
So Crane, you wrap your arms around, lift the brazier up and move it over. It's heavy, cast iron, pitted now with age, but certainly not a difficult thing to move. If Shana, Cran, Cherry, and Numo, you're all close enough, can you give me perception rolls, please, as you look at the floor that the brazier was concealing? So, Shana and Cherry, moving closer, you have a look at the floor, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious switch, depression, or anything else. In fact, the floor underneath the brazier is actually slightly darker. Touching it to move the dark dust away, you realise that it's actually coal dust. So it doesn't look like this has been moved at all.
Okay. Well, I reckon I need to get the old
brazier.
You can try and light the brazier, yep. You've got flint and steel, etc., and probably a little bit of oil, so you can, if you wish. I mean, certainly you've got burning mummies to act as kindling, if you wish.
Before we get Betty out, lad, I need to just get rid of this bruised calf. Okay.
Ruin the game. Yep, that's successful. That spell won't fail with that roll. Okay, so Cran has his trusty crowbar out called Betsy. And he's quite willing to shove Betsy into the cracks in that wall to try and something to happen. Cherry, you've suggested lighting the brazier. You can do the coals with a little bit of oil. As the oil burns off, you can see the coals beginning to change colour, and you can feel some warmth coming from them. But if you were hoping that they'd open the door, nothing happened. Cran, it's over to you to try and use Betsy to try and force the stone.
All right, everyone out of the way. I'll have a look at a crack around the edge of the widest area possible.
Okay, so that's sort of on the left-hand side. You can a crack up the left-hand side and then a crack running along the top.
So all right, I'll winkle the broad flat end of Betsy in there.
Hang on, Cran. Wait. I've got a spell of weakening on the door. I can actually reduce its strength by half if you wish before you.
Well, fucking, why didn't you say?
Well, I'm sorry. I was just staring around and thinking about things, and I just realized when you were wielding Betsy, though. Let me get that for you. Oscar.
Well, thank you very much. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, a golden glow surrounds the door and vaporizes half of it. If I roll over a 4.
Okay.
If you roll under, it could be vaporizing your own head.
Yeah, right.
65. Okay, so Silk, you managed to cast. Does that strength by 50%?
Yeah, 50% plus 50 bonus to attempts to break down the door, kind of a thing.
All right, Cran, can you give me a strength check, please? And you can add to your strength. Make it a very hard strength check. So percentage roll. Give yourself a minus 20 penalty and get over 100 for me if you can.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Not quite.
Might crack the room.
Lift with your legs, Cran, not with your back.
Okay, and meanwhile, I'm sure there's people saying use the Cran. Give it another go.
Looks like he's taking a shit.
Don't tell him that. He does that a lot.
And Betsy is sometimes used if the curry hasn't gone well.
Yeah, okay. He's a berserker. He makes that face a lot.
Going into prolapse territory here, boys.
Yeah,
oh. How do you roll the same damn number?
I've never ever seen that done before.
Oh, my ass. That really was so.
I don't have spells of cleaning either, guy. Wait, I've got a fireball. Cran, come here.
Hey, fucking keep that away from me.
Okay, so Cran tries at the door a couple of times, but it is not going to shift. you need to find the opening mechanism. And it doesn't seem to be in this room. Maybe there are levers or things you can do elsewhere.
Yeah.
Clearly, this is a door that's very well protected, and you hope that whatever's behind the door is worth the effort that you're now going to go to open it.
So,
But there doesn't
what are
seem to be
those
any way of it.
things at the side of that?
Right, the things around the
Are those
walls.
coffins?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were all
those
coffins,
are-
and those spawned mummies when a pressure plate was triggered when the party entered this chamber.
Have those coffins been checked for any levers
Yeah,
or whatever?
yeah. Sadly, they've done that. Sorry, Fox. I just shared the map with you. You're probably wondering what the hell was going on.
If I remember correctly, this room was a trap room, and they sort of disgorged a number of the dummies. We had to do a fighting retreat, I think. I think it's the room that we did.
That's
this in.
right. That's right.
Yeah, that was a tough bet.
Right, well, if I can remember rightly, isn't there a door in the big room just to the sort of like the southeast?
Oh, there's many doors in the big room there, but
Yeah, but if we sort of think about it, it probably leads down this way, maybe.
oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Oh, it's not just a pretty face. He's got brains and all.
So-
Look, let's go that way.
Actually, quite a pretty face, actually.
So,
We've
Can I
seen your
get a
portrait on Obsidian
Debatable.
Portal.
Hey,
No.
appearance
can I get a
98.
description of the door that
Sorry?
we're trying to open?
Sorry, say that again, please, Cherry.
Can I get a description of the door that we've been trying to open?
So all you can see of it is the wall. The stone itself is quite rough granite. It hasn't been finished with tiles or any sort of description, any engraving at all. The walls themselves are discoloured over time. Obviously, water has perhaps begun to seep in through the brickwork. Even though the jungle is hot, it's humid. All you can see of the door is cracks on the wall, straight cracks, oddly, irregularly straight cracks, or rather suspiciously shaped straight cracks of exactly the dimensions you'd expect to find sort of a small 2 foot by 5 foot by 2 foot door. But there doesn't seem to be any hinges. There is no crack on the right hand side. It's just a left hand vertical crack. Try as you might, though, that so
Any indication of how the door will actually physically open?
whether it's, well, you can push against it and nothing happens, and you can try helping Cran with Betsy and it doesn't pull open either.
Oh,
But
actually,
given that there's no obvious crack on the, expect that that's where the hinge mechanism.
Can
got
we
an
try
idea,
and
lads.
lift
And
it?
that's his. Right, I'm going to take a fucking great run up from over here. Right.
Well, hang
Can-
on.
can you
Why
just-
don't
can-
you give Betsy to Charno or Cherry?
Can we try and lift that door? Maybe it goes up instead of in.
Oh, I like. Where do these brains from Cherry come from?
Yeah.
You can try. Okay, Cran, you can wedge the Betsy underneath, and of course you'll be able to apply a little bit more force, stand on it, and use your body weight rather than sort of arm strength. So just give me a straight strength check, please.
Is
Cran.
there any fulcrum that we could get even more mechanical advantage from?
Mm,
And ideally, like a 10-foot long pipe I could put over the end of Betsy and then get massive.
lay the brazier down. on its
you
side.
can lay the brazier down, but what the angle crack is so small that you're just not your fulcrum point is going to have to be quite small. But I mean, you can make a fulcrum point out of some coins.
Or any like bricks or anything in the room above.
No.
Rubble or something.
But you've got no shortage of loose coins. Pile up.
Even one of your swords, yeah. Pull out one of your daggers.
Yeah, use
I'm
the
gonna look at you as if you're absolutely mad. And I suppose so. What have you got?
Well, hang on, Cran. I got this other spell. I touch his arm, I mumble some total gibberish, and fake my way into saying, now, okay, you've got immense strength now. Go for it. You can do.
Right, you see Cran like crack his neck left and right a bit and then shrug his shoulders. I know what, I'll take the pack off this time. And he puts his pack on the floor.
Actually, Cran's
Yeah.
intelligence is only 49.
Yeah,
Probably
that's why I
pretty
did that.
easily fooled.
Yeah.
He'll get the crowbar, wedge it over under some coins, and then
Give me a straight strength roll.
no modifiers, no worries.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh
nice
yeah,
job.
that worked well.
Okay, the door, you can see the door shift. It does move up to the right, and you can see the crack above the door disappear as the door rises up to meet the lintel of the door.
Oh, that's a
It
level for
doesn't-
Cherry right there.
But it doesn't open, unfortunately.
Oh.
Well, now we know the door goes up.
Hmm.
The door can be opened.
There you go.
How much of a space is there beneath it now?
Well, as soon as you remove the crowbar, the door sinks down again. And the gap in the first place was barely, probably 2 or 3 millimeters, just enough for the very edge of Betsy's business end to fit inside.
So does
Okay,
it look,
Hank.
Stuart, as if we're just levering up the
Silk, do you have
hinges
something
on the
to
pin?
make that door
You
light?
did, yeah. I mean, it did look like you door and levering on the hinges. There was no way for the door to go up and out of the way. That door definitely swings either inwards or outwards, but you can shift it. You've got to find the mechanism.
Right, gotcha.
So here's where you'll like Lofty Bridge for the new gents there. So level 6 is called Portal. How thick is the door, GM? Because I can open a portal 3x6x3 in any solid surface, and then anyone can pass.
So 3 feet by, so you mean basically 6 foot high,
Yeah.
by 3 foot wide, and then what, 3 inches
3
thick?
feet. Well,
3
it says
feet?
Whoa,
3
that's
feet.
huge.
Six. Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
bloody
3.
thick door.
Well, that's basically for like brick walls kind of thing, is what it is.
Okay. Part of me wants to say cast it and find out, but
Okay.
basically cast it and see if you'll shift the door. But yes, you will.
Okay.
I don't think any door is through. Yeah. So why don't you cast that spell? That
You
will
got
work.
it. So 6th
But
level.
you're going to
portal.
cast it anyway. Yep.
Yeah, no matter what. Yeah, there we go.
There you go. So you cast your spell. The door
Yes.
quivers inward, and it reveals as you are hoping the treasury.
Worth it.
How long does the portal last for?
1 round per level. Get in there now.
Quick! So you've got you're level 6. No, you're level 8. So you've got 8 minutes. It's like
Yeah.
those shopping sort of game shows where you've got a trolley and you've got 10 minutes in Tesco's. Off you go.
One round per level, so 8 rounds total, not
8 rounds.
minutes.
Jerry,
But I can cast it again.
Karn, haul all the heavy stuff out. Jerry's gonna tuck everything out of the room into the.
Okay, so there are
that she can lift.
obviously a number of chests. Okay. So there's 2 large chests, and there's obviously a pile of loose coins. There also appear to be 3 fine weapons of chain shirt.
Would Jerry consider herself well off money-wise with the funds that they've collected through their adventures?
Yes, they are. And Cherry was basically a street rat, but her group have been very, very, well, not lucky. They've earned what they've got, and they are fairly well off. More to the point, Cherry and this group are very much, they share everything. No deception, duplicity, or keeping secret. They've always been very open and upfront with each other.
Okay, then I will ignore the gold and the money, and just tuck out the items first.
Oi, Cherry, have a look at that mechanism. Can't you get this bloody door to stay open? Now you're on the other side.
Can do.
All right, Cherry, give me so rather than grabbing stuff, does anybody else want to go into the room and loot things?
Can you just
Numal does, yeah.
How long
Alright.
does this last?
I told Karn to lift the heavy stuff out.
Okay,
How
so
long does
Numal
that door
enters,
last?
Cherry
Silk?
enters. Silk reckons it will last about, I mean, she'll say probably,
A
about
minute.
A minute.
About a minute, yeah.
Right, start figuring it out. We'll pile it up on the floor in here. Get the heavy weapons and stuff out first. All the stuff we're looking for, and then if we have time, we'll grab some gold.
All right, so Cherry doesn't really have enough time to look at the mechanism. Not if you want to empty the place. Although Silk does say that she can cast the spell again if any of you get trapped.
Why doesn't Jerry concentrate on the mechanism, and then we'll just concentrate on a little treasure line here and just pass it on through.
That's a good idea.
All right, Cherry, can you give me a a very hard perception roll. So if you click on the very hard box that you can see, that will automatically add that penalty modifiers box.
And then a perception, you said.
That's right.
You got it.
And then give me a roll.
We're on fire tonight.
No, that's exactly Cherry Lake right there.
Okay, right. Numel, give me the first object that you grab. So there's coin. Those two chests look very heavy. There's a set of armor, and there look to be two rather fine blades.
We know what Cran grabs first.
Yeah,
Well, Cran isn't in there, but it's Numel. Numel, grab something.
Yeah, I grabbed the closest blade.
Okay, so one blade has gone. Next.
Come on, get weaving.
The next blade.
Next, okay. Next.
I start chucking on the armor to get as much out of it.
You can't do anything yet because your perception, if it's a full perception, is going to take at least one round.
Okay.
Okay, so Numel, you've chucked out two blades. You've still got time. You're going to go for the armor next?
Cran, can you get in there and get one of them big fuck off chests?
Yep. Oh, excuse me, lads. Oh, sorry, Cherry.
All right, so then Cran comes into the room. Numel, you've passed out some armor to Ugnan. Cran, can you give me a strength check, please?
And GM, sorry, just a question. There's the description you posted says 3 fine weapons, if that's true.
Yes, there is. Sorry, yep. And there's a third blade as well. Yep.
Okay.
Cran, you start dragging the chest, but it's difficult to heave out. It's obviously quite heavy. It's an iron-bound chest. Right. Sorry, Numel. Yes, there is a third blade that you can take out. The first two blades.
I do that. Yep.
Right, the first two blades were Kynaks. The third is also a Kynak, but it doesn't seem to be matched like the other two are. You've taken out the armor. Now, you and Cherry, Cran, time is sort of counting down. Do the three of you want to stay in the room, knowing that the door is going to swing shut, or do you want to come out just in case Silk can't open the door again?
Come out.
Right, Cran steps out.
It's like
Stuart,
Crystal
just a
Maze.
time out. Stuart, just a time out.
Yes.
The artifact that we're looking for. Are you able to refresh at least my memory? What detail, if any, we had about the nature of the artifact?
Yeah, you're looking for a set of stone, which you have been told by an oracle is in the city, and the artifact itself, I do have a rudimentary description, will allow you to free this powerful seer that you're trying to rescue. Stories, if you can recall, underneath the catacomb Selkai, the water catacombs in Sistan, a very powerful seer was being held prisoner by two demons. Now, you've killed both demons, but before you can release the seer, you have to break the enchantment, still hold her captive. It's detailed somewhere on the.
Yeah, just put a link to it in the general.
Okay.
Thank you, Cran.
Yeah, I just asked just in case we
No,
can
it's been a long time since we played.
And look for the artifact. But it seems
not
that time is growing short.
You're not expecting to find it here. You're finding it in the city. So if you remember, there's a city basically dominates the island city of Tarak Nev, demon haunted, etc., etc.
This was purely to get.
This.
This is getting weapons to help us retrieve the stone.
Okay, so Numel, Cherry and Cran have decided that it's better to come out. You come out as well.
As have I. Yeah.
And after a few seconds, the door closes. Now, there are two chests inside, and there's a pile of coins, but you have got 3 Kynaks. 3 are enchanted magic. Do you want Silk to recast her spell?
Hang on, before you cast it, can we get something with some mechanical advantage or a rope that we can get 3 or 4 people helping Cran pull one chest out at a time?
Well, I could always make another pit underneath the wall, and then you just climb in underneath the pit each time.
That would work.
That's a cracking idea.
just remember last time I didn't quite go according to plan and ended up somewhere else. But I think I've got it this time.
Silk remembers and immediately goes to the stairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Just before the crater centers on Ugnin.
I believe in you, Ugnin. I'm going to pat you on the shoulder and just stand next to you.
A bit.
Okay, so I'll let Steve. Steve, do you want to frighten everybody with what happened last time? Trying to cast it.
Yeah. So basically, this is a spell that's beyond your current level. So it's a 10th level spell. I believe we were 7th level at the time, so it's 3 levels above. So 3 levels above means you've got to you take a sort of a 30 penalty straight away to your sort of spell success roll. So we needed a 33 or more, and I didn't get that. So then we rolled on the fumble table, and luckily it was one where your spell misfires and lands somewhere else. So the pit randomly went somewhere else in the room, and then we tried again and it did work. But if we do it today, if I don't roll 28 or more, then it's going to go immediately to a fumble. And the great thing about this as well is you then, that penalty you took, you then triple and add to the fumble roll, so it can be quite bad.
Well, actually, Ugnin, I think the safest place to be, where are you aiming to put the pit? I'm going to stand right there.
Nice.
You're a cheeky bugger.
Okay. Fortunately, it's a non-attack spell, so.
Yeah. So
okay. So you're overcasting then.
Yeah. So, but I don't think it makes a difference. I can do all the kind of overcasting. So it's still going to need a 28 or more.
Well, you on the fumble, you managed to get, because it's open ended. If you roll 300 over, you fall into a coma.
Oh,
only
that's something I don't aim
only.
for. Right. So 28 or more.
Oh no.
Oh God.
So I take it that's not very good.
You're just learning. Yeah, you're
75
learning.
added to this roll. Here's the
All
fumble
right,
roll.
nobody move your token. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh God, I thought I said 98. So that was
okay. 161. Severe strain takes toll on caster. The spell misfires. The caster takes 5 hits and is stunned for 6 rounds.
Oh, I think I've got it, lads. Ah!
Start bleeding from the nose like 11.
Oh, my sciatica, he says. Right, okay.
So
Sorry,
I was just going to say, so for the new folks, in combat, 6 rounds of not being able to do anything now besides move around, right? So
that's
definitely,
a catastrophe.
Yeah, that's not good. So it's okay if you can think you can do it and cheat the odds of 1/4 of a chance of failure, but in this case, friggin' Ugnin.
No. So Ugnin, is this pit invisible? I can't. It looks like floor down there.
And why are you rolling on the ground, holding your head?
He's digging the pit.
Ugnin, do you want to give that another go?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. I think I got it. It took 2 goes last time. Should be no problem. You got to take a step back.
You notice everybody starts moving. Yeah, everybody.
Where's everybody gone?
They have so much confidence in you.
Right, come on. Whatever being it is that gives me his power, whatever you bloody are, give me it this time.
Oh,
I
saw the 10. I saw the 10. I was like, not again.
Okay. So there is now, it's quite a clever use of that spell, actually. I'm going to have to line everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
Suspiciously, the goblins lined everything with 4 minerals, possibly a 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've put a nice deep pit underneath the door, which means that there's no need, and that pit lasts quite a long time, doesn't it?
It's permanent.
So you have, at your leisure now, you can remove the 2 chests, obviously using Cran and Shan strength. Is there anything else you want to, or you can also remove the so there is a total of 1,500 gold coins, and there are 2,000 silver coins.
Are you okay if I add these to the list we've already got?
Yeah, it's probably the easiest thing to do. Sadly, Fox, benefit, if you play any of the other rule sets, they are much more up to date than the Rolemaster set. And for all of the other rule sets, if you find party treasure, there is a party sheet accessible from the Dungeon Master's end, and all of the money and all of the items can be dropped onto that and then shared with the party. Fortunately, this rule set is quite old, and that level of sophistication is missing, I'm afraid.
Ogden would like to check the mechanism of the door, so I'm just going to give you a perception very hard in the tower.
Yeah, can you very hard in the tower. So you're doing that from inside?
Yeah, inside. Just have a look at the mechanism.
No, you can't find any opening mechanism. Let me.
Oh, Jerry, do you want to check out these two chests if we can? I don't know, it might be trapped or something.
Sure. I look at the chests. Nope, they're not trapped.
I'm just going to check a corner over here. I forgot what somebody asked earlier. We had checked each of these sarcophagus, hadn't we? There was nothing in there, like no.
Yes, you had. You checked them. You found no opening mechanism. Okay, so let's see. Ogden, you'd stepped into the room and an opening mechanism and found one. Cherry, do you want to go into the room for an opening mechanism? You can have another look if you wish.
Yeah, no, it would make removing those chests easier.
It does, but with the pit that you've got, you can push them into the pit and then pull them out, back straining. But yes, you could do that. Cherry, again, could you give me a hard perception roll, please? Because you searched this room in the tower, please. Excellent. No, you can't find an opening mechanism, but there is a section of brickwork against the which looks slightly out of place. There are a couple of stones, I should say, which are slightly out of line with the rest of the bricks. Looking at those, hoping to find an opening, you are able to loosen and pull. There's clearly something behind the bricks, rather stone. And with some help, you could probably remove that section. Might be something behind there if you wish to do.
I'll give you a hand, lass, if you want to do it.
Yeah, sure. Why not? We might even need Betsy.
Probably. Okay.
Should we go and get the big lad then?
Why? He doesn't let his girl out.
Oh no, Betsy's very important.
Hey, big lad, have a look at these bricks. I'll just get out of your way.
All right.
Okay. Removing the brickwork, you can see there's a niche behind that, and resting in the niche, it looks to be a large two-handed.
Finally, a weapon for me.
I lost you there, I'm afraid. Large two-handed something.
What?
Two-handed dildo.
Large two-handed. Behave. A large two-handed.
Is it big?
It is. So the sword itself is just over 6 feet long.
Oh, fucking hell, look at this. I'll reverentially draw it out.
As you pull the blade out, it begins to shine slightly, and there's a regular rhythmic thumping coming from the pommel.
Finally, a weapon I can use. Give it over.
It's not a dildo. It's a vibrator. What the hell is going on with this?
As you pick right, Cran, can you give me a channeling resistance, please?
Highly unlikely. Channeling resistance.
And can the rest of you give me perception roll, please? You can make the open.
I'm not able to see him where I am, still on the stair.
Oh, you actually, Cherry, no, you're sorry, Silk, you're fine because you're so far away. But can the rest of you give me perception roll? More about what you can hear rather than you can see.
I'm standing right behind him.
Yeah, so just give me a perception roll.
I got a 97 on the channeling resistance. I can't do much better than that.
Oh, good job, buddy.
All of you can hear, apart from Silk, you can hear sound the whispered voices on each other. So you can't make out the very, very faint. All that is, apart from Shana and Numel, who can hear faintly the following. Cran, you also hear this whisper in your head. Clearly, the sound is somewhat sentient, and in picking it up, you now have the choice whether to claim it or to give it away. But you can only make that choice once.
Oh, are you talking to me? I'll say in my head to the sword.
Shieldbreaker doesn't say anything. but you either Shieldbreaker has allowed itself to be picked up and grasped by you. Fortuitously, you're a fighter warrior who is wield it. You can keep the blade, or you can pass it on.
All right, so I'm gonna
back.
talk to the group and say, well, I don't know whether any of you heard that, but this sword spoke to me, and it sounds like an absolute doozy. Do you what? Well, can anyone else use two-handed weapons? So I'm pretty good with them.
But, how much did you have to drink?
What, in the last hour, or in general?
No, I think that's right. Ogden, do you need to give him another root?
I think he's got like the 2 left. I think he's got the last of the 2.
We're not having a fucking last of those. They've got to see me through.
Yeah, one a day, lads. One a day. And bear in mind, out of character, Cran, you based this character on Logan Nine Fingers, and this is such a sword worthy of the bloody 9.
It is indeed. It looks like it. So, well, it basically says it's the Widowmaker. So that'll do me. I'll look around, like challenging everyone to say I want it inside of 5 or 10 seconds.
Ogden halves his one-handed hand axe. Yes, you can have it, lad.
That thing is nearly as big as I am. You keep it.
All right, Shieldbreaker, or Widowmaker, or Shatter of Swords and Splinter of Spears. I'm all in. I claim you for my own.
Silk, he's talking to the sword.
So do I.
It's better conversationalist than you wankers.
Harsh, but possibly fair. All right, I'll update Obsidian, John. Shieldbreaker is a legendary weapon, probably guessed. So there'll be some information under the item that you'll need to look at.
Awesome.
Obviously, with Shieldbreaker in your possession, you might as well get rid of all your other weapons.
Never get rid of all my other weapons.
Shieldbreaker won't let you use anything else. You use something else. And you won't need to be honest.
No, I reckon that will do me. But I reckon I can use it one-handed, the shield in the other.
Oh, you can try. Okay, so there are 2 chests as well. Cherry, obviously the others before they start opening chests are quite keen that you check both chests for traps and so on. So do you want to give me a perception roll for chest number 1? Please.
And Ogden would like to double check them. I know that pisses Cherry off, but he likes to be safe on this.
Okay. All right, Cherry, you have a look at the first one and look over at Ogden. Give me a perception roll. No, you're both convinced that the chest is not trapped, but it is locked. Cherry, you're going to have to try and open the lock. It's quite hard. So, sorry, you've not played a rogue before. Skill that you're looking
big locks.
Big locks, that's right, yeah. Okay, and that's good enough. Inside, dark robe decorated with gold lapels. Given the quality of the robes, they have faded and they haven't disintegrated with time. They're clearly enchanted.
Can I have a look at that, Cherry? Silk, I'll bring something out to you. Look at this, gold lapels and everything.
Ooh,
it looks fancy.
Look, it's not rotted. So I think there's something up for it. I'm going to have a look. You have a look, see if you can spot.
I'm going to touch it. How does the robe feel?
The robe is very light, but interestingly, it doesn't flex and bend quite as you'd expect fabric to. It's clearly quite tough and resilient. And any user of essence, so silk, as you look at them, I think you detect magic, haven't you?
No, I think I still missed that.
I've
dispelling and detecting ways they don't have.
But,
I've got attunement.
Okay, but clearly the robes, whatever they are enchanted. Okay, chest number 2, please. Can I have a set of perception rolls on mode? Okay, Ugnan, you're pretty convinced, as is Cran, for some reason. He's had a look. The chest doesn't seem to have any trap mechanism. Certainly the lock is quite simple. So Cherry, if you want to pick that lock, you can do so. Nope. Your lock pick gets stuck. Have another go. 94 fail. And that's a success. Inside the chest, nothing. Chest appears to be empty.
That's bloody suspicious.
Why would you lock a chest but not put nothing in it?
Probably holy air.
Yeah, that's what they call farts now.
Put your hand in it, wave it around. Anything there?
I'm not going to put my hand. Do I have a dagger?
You do have a dagger.
Can I take it on the blade side and then carefully move it around with the pommel in the chest? See if it gets stuck on something. If something is invisible in there.
As you place the dagger in, the dagger starts trembling and pulling in your hands as if it's trying to enter the chest, and you have to hold quite tight to the pommel to dagger flying out of your hand.
Wow.
I'll take the pommel. I'll take the dagger out, and I'm quite sure that there are some lingering coins laying about.
Oh, of course, there's plenty.
I want to flip one in.
The coin, you flip the coin high up into the air, it rotates into the chest and vanishes.
We need to figure out
A
where
portal.
it goes and how much we can tug in it.
Sorry, say again? How much could you fit in the chest? Okay, Silk.
Well, no, on the other side of the chest.
Well, you don't know what's on the other side of the chest.
Get Silk!
Silk jumps in.
No, whoa! Hold on to her legs.
Okay, so Cran, you were there, and you were there. Can you give me how we've done this before? Give me a agility roll, please.
Agility versus quickness of Silk.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
No.
That's a good
Cran,
roll.
75. Ugnan.
What, me or Silk?
No, Ugnan, I want you to make an agility, please. You're trying to stop. You know what Silk's like with tools. 94. Okay, Silk, can you give me a straight quickness roll? But I want you to take 20 off that roll. No, just take 10 off the roll, please.
Uh-oh, Silk's really quick.
Silk is really quick.
Okay, minus 10.
Because you're not trying to dodge them, you're just moving for the chest.
Yeah, almost like in a trance. You know,
That's
it's
right.
not that
You're
quick.
still quick, but you're not as. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we go, diving head first.
Oh,
wow. Tie goes to the runner.
Okay, so it's only the fact that the chest is too for you to easily fit into. Reasons won't go into. Your top-down token reveals why. That is able to stop you vanishing into God knows where. You've no idea where the portal leads to. Cran manages to just loop one brawny arm around your waist as your legs pop over the sides of the chest. Cran follows up quickly and pulls you out of the chest.
Oh, just one portal. One. Just let's go through one.
We need your Silk.
So what are you doing, you mad cow? Get out of there.
Look, when we finish here, you can jump in and out as much as you like. Not now.
But you said that last time.
Oh, it's Silk, love. Can't you just create like a familiar or something, and just shove it in it, and then watch where it goes?
Oh, and she almost shuts down and cries. I had a familiar once.
Oh,
What
God.
happened to it?
It went into a portal and never came back.
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, maybe later. I'll
Okay,
tell
so you've got 3 Kynaks to distribute. You've got a chain shirt to distribute. And you also have these rather fine robes.
Those robes, are they women's attire?
They basically consist of long cowl robe that sort of medieval monks wear, but they're obviously in dark midnight blue with gold lapels. So they could be worn by a man. Those of you that are wearing armor possibly wouldn't to take the robes. It's not obvious they give you more protection than what you're currently wearing, but they are enchanted in some way. I can't recall how we've handled enchantment. It's been so long since we played. I think I've just told you what these things are, haven't I?
I think it's after we kind of hold them for a while, maybe after like a sleep or something, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
you sort of ruled that if, say, it was a weapon, then somebody who's very martial will be able to tell you what that was and all this kind of
that's
idea.
right. Okay. Okay. So the
Carry
weapons
clips
then.
the rope because they look fancy.
The weapons then, if I talk you through those. So one oddly mismatched Kynak is a short Kynak plus 10 of returning. So basically,
Wow.
you can keep throwing it and it comes back to your hand. So that would be quite a nice missile weapon. So you'd only need one because it teleports back to your hand. And it's
Nice.
plus 10 magical. So it's a short Kynak plus 10 of returning that one of you can take. The two matched blades both are unequal lengths, but they're matched in terms of the hilt, so on. One is a long Kynak, one is a short Kynak. Both of them are fashioned of this enchanted material called lane.
Wow.
There you go. So lane is this glass-like material. Both have blue dragon scale wrapped hilt. Now the wielder of both weapons will gain 5 ranks in their 2 weapon fighting ability. I.e.,
Wow.
you get plus 25 to wield Kynak in your right hand, and plus 25 to wield Kynak in your left hand. Now, normally, if you fight with 2 weapons, you normally have to develop the 2 weapon skill independently. You have to specify what weapons you're using with, and to fight with a weapon in your left hand, you get a minus 20 penalty. So, unlike Dungeons and Dragons, fighting with 2 weapons in Rolemaster is a considerable effort. I think as we've discussed
in
this,
real life.
I think as we've discussed before, getting 2 attacks per round in Dragons is easy. Anybody can do it. Even getting 2 spells off a round nowadays under new Dungeons and Dragons is fairly easy. Rolemaster has made that quite difficult.
They're amazing. Wow.
So those are the 3 weapons. Cran has taken Town Saver. Town Saver has a bonus, lots of bonuses, which I'll tell you later. Those on the Obsidian Portal later on tonight. For simple terms, if you need Shieldbreaker, it gives you a plus 20 to your defensive bonus against all incoming attacks. It'll give you a plus 20 bonus to all of your resistance. Shieldbreaker
Wow.
is both a Demon Slayer and a Dragon Slayer.
Oh, nice.
Jeez.
And its base offensive bonus is plus 30.
Wow.
Holy mackerel.
That Eog.
The blade itself will shine brilliantly when it's unsheathed, and creatures of darkness within 250 feet will be struck with a shock plus
Holy
15.
crap.
Nice.
Okay? But the effect will only last once, and only after the blade has been sheathed for an hour. Obviously, Shieldbreaker is an artifact. There are difficulties, however, with Shieldbreaker. Shieldbreaker will not work at all, and will be like a lead, very heavy lump of lead, if you're ever attacked by anything that. So Shieldbreaker is designed to break shields, break weapons. So if, for example, Shana attacks you, you'd be defenseless.
Okay.
There are other properties as well, but I'll put portal for people to. Okay, so those are the weapons.
Stuart, sorry, you broke up when you were explaining where Shieldbreaker isn't effective. I missed that bit.
Shieldbreaker, won't work if Cran is attacked by anything that is unarmed. Now, a creature with claw is armed. It's armed with claw. But should a human attack with his fist, that would be deemed because the character hasn't taken a weapon. And I'd extend that to martial arts as well.
Right, I understand.
So, Cran, if somebody wanted to steal a Shieldbreaker from you, and they just bundled you to the floor, you wouldn't be able to use Shieldbreaker to protect you. You'd have to fight with a weapon, you think.
I've got some other skills.
Which, Cran being Cran would not be a problem. Okay, the robes are robes of the Magi. They will protect as armor type 5, and they'll give you a plus 10 defensive bonus. The robes also act as a plus 2 spell adder, and you take only 50% of any elemental damage, i.e. fire, acid, electricity. all critical are reduced by 1 step. So
Ooh.
should anybody wear the robe and
Wow.
with an E electricity critical, it becomes D. So if you're not wearing any clothes at all, you'd be armor type 1. Silk is wearing a rather natty little number that she picked up in Selkai. It would be armor type 2, and then she'd have a defensive bonus on it. And she'd obviously have a massive quickness DB as well. If Silk wants to use these robes, she'd jump to 5. She'd still have a bonus, but she'd also get an extra 10 to it, and then they're all elemental defenses. She'd also get bonus having a spell adder.
So my thinking is Silk should have those, or Ugden as well.
No, it's essence, so I'm channeling.
Is it essence? So Silk absolutely makes sense.
Well, thank
But
you
they're
if it is
fancy, and I want them.
Yeah, Silk wears a go.
I
Difference
would
is I make this look
great in
good.
this.
No, that's okay.
You guys can't keep your eyes off me.
It's
Um,
true.
That would be a bad idea. No, you take it.
Right,
Oh.
the chain shirt is known as the Aegis. The Aegis is a chainmail shirt up 13 that gives you an additional +5 to your defensive bonus. Okay. However, every time you receive a bleeding wound combat, the defensive bonus increases by. So if you're fighting, suppose it goes to, I don't know, Ugnan, he's hit for a wound and he starts bleeding at 1 hit per round, you get an extra +5 to defensive bonus. If he's hit again, for now bleeds at 3 hit points per round, that's 2 bleeding wounds. He's got his, whatever his normal DB is, +5 Aegis anyway, plus the 5 from the first wound, and another second wound. And that keeps stacking and stacking and stacking. In addition to that, called critical, that would strike the armor, i.e., so this would be torso, legs, torso and arm, are reduced 1 step. So as long as there's no head or leg critical, any critical delivered the wearer of the Aegis is reduced by 1 step.
Holy mackerel! Sounds impressive.
Yeah. I don't think anybody wears chain here.
Motherload.
Numal's got a chain shirt.
Yeah, I think Numal, you've got the kick-ass shirt.
Yeah, I think so too.
You can bundle up the armor. What you probably have to do is maybe have a session sort of in the week where people log in and sort out their gear and equipment. Okay, so there are 3 Kynaks for you to distribute as best as you want. Quick item emergency shipment. Okay.
No idea what that means.
That probably means he's a Canadian. Marijuana free at the yes.
His dealers are right.
Okay.
I can still hear that, you bastards.
Something else to be edited from the screen.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Yes.
Okay, so there is that's not true. Whoever Magic is, ignore his nickname. He's a fine, upstanding member of whatever community he's part of.
Now I can't fly to the U.S.
Yes, exactly. Okay,
you can drive into Washington State if you find that.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so 3 blades, 3 Kynaks. 2 will have to be used as a pair. They're going to be useful for those of you that want to get that second 2 attacks per round. But you'd need to just develop the skill, so that's something to work on. There's a throwing Kynak, which will be returning. So any of you who want to stay out of combat and just hurl a blade can take that short Kynak. Robes of the Magi, those could probably go to Silk. You'd get that +2 spell adder, which would be useful Silk. I don't know if you've got any spell adding functionality.
Multiplier.
You've got a multiplier, but a multiplier and adder are different.
Yeah. That's cool.
But a +2 adder would be quite useful for you, not that you're short of.
Ugden, are you sure you don't want it?
Yeah, definitely. Because you'll get the essence spell adder. So yeah, no, you take it.
Okay.
I don't like gold lapels either.
Yeah. If you could post the stats for that in chat, Jim, when you get a chance later.
Yeah. How about I do that now?
Oh, okay. Thank you then.
There you go.
Thank you.
I'll do Wayland's blades in chat as well. There you go. Blades. And then there's the armor as well. That. Okay. Then obviously there's the Shieldbreaker, which John has taken. And I'll post all of that in chat as well.
Whoa.
Okay, so there are 12. Basically, the story is that there are 12 of these swords. So the legends have it. I won't give you the full details because it's something researchers campaign. But there are 12 of these swords. They're different sizes: great sword, short sword, axes, rapiers, and so on. They were crafted by the god and then distributed and scattered over the realm as part of the way that the gods try and manipulate and play games with blades.
Is that all it does, though, Stuart?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. The blades are, I know they're crap, really. I'm cracked, to be honest. I mean, certainly having typed all that shit up, for you now to say that's rubbish, DM, there'll be no sulking this end of the Atlantic.
Take it all back.
So anyway, yeah, the swords are fairly important. They're one of those things. Remember, this is a sandbox campaign. So at the end of this Tarek Nev thing, which will probably take a Christmas, if you then wanted to have a break and research into these, they do, it would be a worthwhile thing for you to do. Sort of a lot of sort of high-end gaming, find the rest of the board to investigate this.
Look through some books. Ogden's in heaven.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so those are the items. Found the treasury. However, there is still much of this, or a significant portion of this level of the temple floor. So after some time looting and chortling over what you found, where next, folks?
Well, just in case anybody's being polite, Ogden's looking over it and he's like, well, I can barely use this bloody hand axe, so I can't use any of those weapons. And I don't like that robe.
Well, okay. Maybe she'll think about wearing them then, if that's the case.
Okay. So you can return to, obviously, the main room, which is to the north of you. See, for those of you that weren't here, if I give you description, it's a large central hallway. You can see in the centre there's a large sarcophagus, the 3 glowing discs of light, 4 clearly being smashed at some point by a roof cave-in. You're all back in the central chamber. So there are the double doors you can see against the eastern. Those ones there. Those are how you entered. There are 3 sets of single that you've not explored. 2 against the western. Hopefully you can see those. Those have intact warding signs.
Right.
See if I can picture of the wardings.
And that was why we were talking about resting on this side or behind that door.
Right.
In the...
So the warding sign looks like that, and they're intact and unaffected. The door that you can see to the west, but the other door to the south similarly has that warding sign, but it's damaged. You can see that some of the gold sigils cracked, faded. One portion, the sigil on the left, is really faded out of existence, and the clay disc that these things sit on is cracked, as if somebody's hit it a number of a hammer.
Is that the one with the purple arrow?
There's a blue arrow. Yeah, there's purple arrows. Yes.
So that's got the damaged.
That's got a damaged warding.
Okay,
and
thanks.
Similarly to the door that you've just come out.
Oh,
Well, I'll leave this to you and Ogden. Still got no idea what's going on here. So let me know if you want.
It's like this big lad. Every time one of these is damaged, there's been some naughtiness behind. There's been some evil behind. I think because the wards either stop them reanimating or coming back from or changing in some way, or even just passing the doors. I think once it's down, then it's all fair game what's on the other side of it. So we'll have to keep our wits about us.
All right. Cran scratches his ass, looking absentmindedly across the other side of the room.
Yeah, and Ugg looks at Cherry.
Yeah.
So which door do you want to go through? There's 3 that you've not explored. Okay, Cherry. So the door stands in front of you. It's a heavy stone being finished with copper, and then this clay disc planted on one of the doors. The runes on the door damaged, which could mean that creatures lie in wait. Cherry, do you want to check the door for traps or just open it?
I want to check it for traps first. Yes.
Okay. You've got a light source, so that's just a regular perception roll, please.
Do you want to have another look as well, lass?
Okay, the door doesn't seem to be trapped at all.
So it's just to push open,
Yeah, just
or is
push
there a
open.
locking mechanism?
No, there are 2 large door rings. Grasp those, twist both of them, and push the doors in. Oh, sorry, pull the doors.
Okay, I'm going to do that and then step to the left, so that I am not immediately in the doorway when the door is open.
Okay.
And that's where we'll leave this episode. I'm going to be on holiday for a couple of weeks. There will be a delay in getting the last part of this session out, where we go through the door and discover what's beyond there and do a little more exploring of the temple. Just want to say again, thank you very much for all those who view. Thank you very much for those who subscribe. In the description is all the different ways you can get hold of us or see where we put our particular sessions up at. Thank you very much. I'll catch you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye-bye.